Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Discovery High School for this UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division action. It is Georgia Athletic taking on Dalton United. Larry Weaver alongside Andre Bomar for today's matchup, and this is going to be an interesting matchup. When you look at the lineups, you have Georgia Athletic has slipped a little bit out of the playoffs. Dalton United, they're in the contention of the playoffs. Two teams that really need to see some points today. Georgia Athletic losing last week to Potros FC. A little bit of help from Mother Nature as it was only a 1-0 win, but it was that late departure due to the storm that allowed Potros FC to maintain the victory. So Georgia Athletic, they're looking to find themselves to get back in winning ways. Dalton United a little stumbly over the course of this season. No more Kiko Rodriguez under the helm. Just about to get underway. It'll be Georgia Athletic will get us underway. They're in the red kits. They're going to be moving from from right to left. Dalton United in their white and red kits, they're going to be moving from left to right. Absolutely perfect end of this May 2005. Temperatures in the mid-70s right now here in Lawenceville, Georgia. Keebus Marin gets us underway. Back to the keeper. He'll send it out. Attack again for Dalton United. Let's see what they can do. Going to lay it off back to the defense. Looking for somewhere to go. That'll go out. It'll be goal kick for Guerrero. Just in the first minute here. Kasut, he'll lay it off. Go all the way back to defense. Gutierrez, he'll go forward. His pass gets cut off. Marin's there to, I'm sorry, that wasn't Marin. That was another Georgia Athletic player. Both teams, that was Kasut. Both teams still waiting to get complete lineups. So we're going to go off of memory on a few of these players. That ball is going to get blasted out. It'll be a throw for Georgia Athletic. Have to locate that Voigt ball, jump over the fence. Voigt is the official match ball sponsor of the UPSL. See their likes also in La Liga MX. Marquez went over to the far side. Battling over there is Hernandez. Loses the ball. Dalton being pressured. Yeah, that is Mason Dalton, who plays for Dalton United. Marin now battling between two Dalton players, able to release it, go back Good ball forward. Nice little touch there by Dalton. Still have an opportunity. Going to lay it off to Gutierrez. He's going to send a beautiful ball forward. Marin trying to get there. Able to get just enough on it. Ruiz over his head. Allows Dalton to get out of a jam. They release. That one bouncing off the foot of Marquez. He's not able to control it. Now right at the edge of the center circle, trying to move forward and just muscled off the ball by Hernandez. Over to Marquez. He'll come over here to Gutierrez. Gutierrez thought about going forward, elects to go back to Marquez. Marquez will go back to Guerrero. Guerrero, he'll just elect to go over to the far side. Ball lifting forward, passes Kasut, made its way to Marin, and then eventually it makes its way back to Hernandez, who goes over here to Gutierrez. A lot of possession here in the first 4 minutes for Georgia Athletic. Have really had good pace the last few matches, pushing their way to the playoffs. Little bad luck in the last few. One thing you're going to have to watch in this match, if Dalton United has the opportunity, is the long throw. That's been negated with Hernan Saldana not being in the lineup today. Here's an opportunity, laid off. Still has it. Shot taken, deflected off of the defender. Jimenez with a strike. There's another attempt. But the Dalton United keeper able to be strong, keep possession. Cleared away. Headed around the horn. Still in possession is Georgia Athletic. Going to take a shot. That one a little too far over the bar. Out for a goal kick. Dalton moving out of the back slowly. Bit of a tussle. That'll be a throw for Georgia Athletic. The Dalton man felt like he was fouled. He was wanting a call. Not going to get it. Throw in by Georgia Athletic. Jimenez trying to hold off the Dalton man, not able to do so. Bouncing around. Jimenez comes from an offside position, and he will allow Dalton United to retain possession. We've had a lot of rain here in the Atlanta region throughout this week. Not a lot of humidity today, but it is very windy. Sent forward, but in possession of Georgia Athletic. Marin, he'll lay it off for Jimenez. Jimenez gets to the top. He tried to sneak that one in. I'm sorry, that was Ruiz that was trying to sneak that into Jimenez. But it will go out. It will be a corner. It'll be the first corner of the match. Take a look at it again here on the replay. You see this is a good ball from Marin. He'll give it over to Ruiz. Ruiz trying to sneak that one in. It's enough of a deflection to go out for a goal kick. Be an in-swinger. Low. Knocked out. Be a goal kick. Coming into the 9th minute, 0-0. Take a look at this corner. Once again, you see Ruiz. He's just trying to sneak it in, and a little bit of a header. See, that was probably off of the training pitch. Try to catch Dalton United. Now it'll be knocked out, it'll be a throw for Dalton United. We continue to move down that far line. Should be able to see the touch lines better here at Discovery High School than some of the locations that we have here in the Atlanta area. It'll be that white, almost gray line, and there'll be a foul committed there by Georgia Athletic. That'll be right about the 55 yards. But you'll see the touch line here on the near and the far side. It's white. It's a combination of white and gray, so it'll be easier to see than some of the places like Meadow Creek and Shiloh High School. Ball's forward to Dalton. He loses possession, cleared away by Jimenez. Nice high looping ball. It'll go back to the Dalton keeper. Dalton just not able to get anything beyond the middle third right now. As soon as they have an opportunity, immediately snuffed by Georgia Athletic. Injury down there for a Georgia Athletic man off the ball. Marquez, who was down. He is gingerly walking off of the back line. Looks like he could potentially be subbed. He's kind of holding that left hamstring. Georgia Athletic bench is scrambling. Moving forward is Georgia Athletic. Kasut was on a run. That ball gets knocked out. Will be a throw for Dalton. Here comes the substitution for Marquez. Sent forward by Dalton. Marin had it. He was calling for a handball, and he's going to earn it. The handball, it'll be a set piece for Georgia Athletic, and this one is going to be about 22 yards out. Maybe about 5 yards out of the box. This is going to be a good opportunity because it's right about here on the near post where the Dalton United goalkeeper was getting his wall set up. It'll be a 4-man wall. It's Marin over the ball. Kibis Marin looking for a right in swinger. Kasut just behind him, directing traffic. Georgia Athletic man on the left and the right. Jimenez is going to step away. Marin! What a strike for Georgia Athletic. He puts it right past the wall into the back of the net, and it is 1-0 Georgia Athletic. Look at this free kick. Back underway. We'll get the gremlin worked out there. One 0 here in the 16th minute. It'll be Kibis Marin with the goal. Dalton United, they're looking to find something with Marin with the goal in 16th minute. Beautiful strike. We'll watch that on the replay again here when we can. We'll replay the goal again so that you can see it. And if we don't see it, you'll be able to see it on the highlights. Apologize for a few technical difficulties that we had here at Discovery High School, but we will get you back underway. The goal was scored by Kibis Marin, number 9, on a beautiful free kick.
Yeah, Larry, we had a little bit of a hiccup with the internet feed there, but it was a free kick, went directly in. We have the goal recorded on the camera, so we'll have it in the extended highlights package later on.
Thank you there, Dre. Sorry for Andrea, who's watching all the way from Italy. Ciao, my friend. We'll get you square. It just means that you've got to watch the highlights over on ASMG TV. Ruiz was trying to get there. Laid off. Marin's got it. Ruiz is offside, so Marin's going to have to do this all by himself. 3 men on him. It'll be a throw for Georgia Athletic. Oh, I'm sorry. It'll be a foul and a free kick. Excuse me. This is going to be about 38 yards out. Definitely much difficult, more difficult. This will allow Hernandez. He's just going to lift this into the box, headed away by Dalton. Back in from Hernandez. And it's going back and forth. Here's an opportunity, but Jimenez is offside. Even though he goes down, it's not going to be a foul. He was already offsides. Throw for Dalton United. 21st minute, it is Georgia Athletic 1, Dalton United 0. We're getting that scoreboard fixed for you. Apologies about that. Tell you, these gremlins here, they're trying to make sure that this May 2025 goes out with a bang. May 31st, it'll be June tomorrow. We have a lot of matches here in the UPSL Georgia Conference this weekend and next as everyone is looking to finish off this season. We are in week 14 of 16. Currently, Potros FC, they're at the top of the table with 21 points. Kalanji Pro Profile just behind them, but they have 2 games in hand that they've got to make up during the weeks in the coming weeks. So we'll have you some action midweek this season, these coming weeks, these next 2 weeks. Dalton United, they're in 5th place right now. Georgia Athletic is in 7th place. They are just outside of UMA and Dalton United. They have 15 points. Dalton United and UMA have 17 points. So a win for Georgia Athletic would see them jump all the way to 5th place. Remember, the top 4 teams, when we go into the playoffs, they will have home field advantage. And then after week 1, it'll be top seeds who will have home field advantage throughout the rest of the playoffs. Dalton United going through center circle to go over to the far side. Able to settle it. Trying to move forward. Looking for a nice pass. Cut off there by the newly entered player for Marquez. We'll get complete rosters. Hopefully that's a foul committed and a yellow card is going to be issued to the Dalton United man. Number 4 is going to get a yellow card in the 24th minute. See here on the replay, as this ball is trying to go forward and trying to come back for it, he just gets taken off of his feet. Back underway here in the 24th minute, 1-0 for Georgia Athletic over Dalton United. Don't forget, if you like what we do, do not forget to like and subscribe so that you see all of our content, not just this live action, but also replays, highlights, interviews, so much more. You can catch it right here on ASMG TV. That ball is going to bounce off of the Georgia Athletic man, Gutierrez. It'll go out for a throw for Dalton United. Like I said, last weekend it was a lot of work for Georgia Athletic. Last Saturday with a comeback victory, beating FC Birmingham 3-2. They were up 1-0, allowed FC Birmingham to get into that match, take a 2-1 lead, come back, score the second goal late, the equalizer, and then in stoppage time, here's a chance for Barron, and that one's deflected out. It will be a corner for Georgia Athletic. But late minute, what we like to call Fergie time in the Premier League of Europe. Watch on this replay here. You can see this is a beautiful ball to Ruiz. He's running down the near channel. He looks to cross this over to Marin, and just enough of a touch is the Dalton United defender to see that out. This will be an in-swinger for Georgia Athletic. Beautiful ball, punched away. That had eyes for the back of the net. Dalton United trying to work out of space. They're able to do so. And it's going to be a foul. Foul committed by Georgia Athletic. Like I said, last Saturday, Georgia Athletic winning 3-2. And then on Sunday, with a little bit of help from Mother Nature with a late lightning delay that we waited the allotted 30 minutes, and then rain and lightning continued, so the game was called. It was in, I believe, the 88th minute when it was called, so it was official, and it was a 1-0 victory for Potros FC. Shot taken by Dalton. Guerrero, he wanted to grab it. He's just going to parry it over the ball, or over the top bar and out for a goal, or for a corner. I'll spit it all out eventually. Take again, look at this replay. You can see what he wanted to do. Here comes the in-swinger. And that one, player's going to get just karate kicked right into the abdomen. They're going to quickly go back underway. Is Georgia Athletic trying to catch Dalton United off guard? Not able to do so. Hernandez, he controls it. He's going to launch it forward. Marin is there. He's onside. He's going to work down this near channel. Just to the edge of the box. He hits the brakes. Lifts it across. Wide open. And it's a wonderful goal for Ruiz. Absolutely sensational goal for Georgia Athletic. Take a look at this wonderful setup. Marin down the near channel, hits the brakes, lifts it across. Ruiz right there. He's able to just direct it into the back of the net. Nothing the Dalton United keeper could do. It is 2-0 Georgia Athletic in the 28th minute. Goal from Ruiz, assisted by Marin. What a goal for Georgia Athletic. They are running on all cylinders. Dalton United need to pull over, fix a flat tire, because they are struggling here at Discovery High School, making the journey all the way from Dalton United, about a 2-hour drive down here to Lawenceville, Georgia. And they have been off from minute one, not with their usual starting lineup today. So there's a couple people that are not in. The Saldana is one of them. Hernandez with the ball forward. AR thought about putting the flag up on Marin, but he was onside. He's now over on the far side. It'll be nicked away, and it will be a corner. That was the same setup with Ruiz and Marin, just opposite sides of the pitch. But that time, the defender just got enough of it. It'll be Ruiz who is going to give us this in-swinger. Nice ball into the box, but cleared away. Get another chance. Cleared away again. Again, due to technical difficulties, if you missed that first goal, you will see it on the highlights of this match. So do like what Andrea does and watch every highlight right here on ASMG TV. Taken off and just put right back. Kasut with a nice tackle for Georgia Athletic. It'll be a throw for Dalton United. Dalton United have had some struggles this season. Coach Kiko stepping away, going under new ownership, new coaching, some player changing at Dalton United, and they just haven't had the same pizzazz. There's a foul, and it's going to be a yellow card issued. Coming in the 31st minute, that is going to be on number 13 for Georgia Athletic, and you can see as this ball thrown in, he tries to make the turn, and he'll just come through with a solid tackle. This is a really, really good opportunity for Dalton United. Really best opportunity that they've had this entire match. Number 18 who is over the ball. You can see that the cameras are affected by the wind because the wind is coming from the far side to the near side. Here comes the ball bouncing through right back to the Dalton United taker. He's going to try to, again, that one working around the first man, and he hits the deck. Remember, we are on a turf field. We've had a lot of rain throughout this week. I bet you this turf has still got a little bit of sponginess to it. Good touch by Jimenez. He'll lose possession. Dalton is able to release it to his goalkeeper. Over there to the far side. This Dalton United team, they came into this match 5 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, scoring 24 goals. Cleared away. Georgia Athletic came into this match 5 wins, 5 losses, 16 goals. Georgia Athletic still has 2 more games, as well as Dalton. Next week, Dalton will be home to FC Birmingham, who is at the bottom of the table. Georgia Athletic will be on the road to Seal, Alabama to take on UMAFC. Their final game will be at home against North Georgia United. Dalton will be on the road for their final match all the way down in Columbus, Georgia, Otis Spencer Stadium to take on Fountain City FC. See the 4th official trying to get flag back up for the corner. It'll be Jimenez. They'll get it back on their way. These 2 teams should be destined for the playoffs, along the likes of Potros FC and Kalanji Pro Profile Georgia Athletic. Lawenceville, Georgia, a team that just came back from Division One. They've been down in Division One for a few seasons. They look destined for the playoffs. And it'll be interesting to see if UMA can hold on and maintain a playoff seed. UMA, such a strong team down in the southern part of the Georgia Conference. They had that massive win last week, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, over North Georgia United, that 7-2 victory. Last week with the 2-0 victory over Lawenceville, Georgia. So UMA, they're moving in the right direction. Remember, on this season, at the end of it, the bottom two teams, they will be relegated to Division One. Currently in the bottom seats is Fountain City FC and FC Birmingham. Not far off is Albion SC Atlanta. One of those two bottom teams can find a win, that Albion SC Atlanta could find themselves, as well as FC Columbus Elite. It's not just a battle at the top of the table, but also at the bottom of the table, where you want to stay on here in the Premier Division. Right into Guerrero's hands. Guerrero has not had to do a whole lot of work in these 36 minutes. He will send a long one out. To be a foul. Good battle there between Dalton and Georgia Athletic. Georgia Athletic coming out on top. Kasut able to sneak that little pass through. That was a good little pass over there to Montero. He gets it over to Marin, but it's just a little too far in front of him, and Marin will watch that ball roll away from him and out for a throw. That will go out, be a throw for Georgia Athletic. Just, again, a little too far forward. Thanks for the update from Guerrero. That's actually Delgado in the goal. Guerrero away today. Thank you there. Guerrero is in Mexico at the moment with his family. Hope you're having a wonderful time watching your Georgia Athletic with a 2-0 victory over Dalton United right now. We will go down and speak to the referee. We'll have the ASMG staff speak to the referees at halftime. We'll see if we can get you a better roster so we call these correctly. Good ball forward, but Ruiz was in an offside position. He had to let that ball go. Offsides. by Kasut.
Yeah, if I can chime in here, I know that sometimes at this level it's hard to get information with some of these teams. We didn't get the rosters as they do those last-minute changes, but hopefully at halftime, like Larry said, we'll get a more updated and accurate roster.
Thank you, Dre. Always with the fantastic bring in there. Fantastic chime in. Always on the ball.
I do what I do.
Throw in, quickly done by Dalton United and quickly countered, knocked out by Georgia Athletic. Back to Delgado. He'll send a nice ball forward, but that one will see its way out into the Georgia Athletic bench. Like I said, we have 2 more weeks of regular season action. After this, we will go to the playoffs. We will have 4 matches. That first week you see here on the replay. That one just blasted out. We'll have 4 matches that first week of playoffs. Top 4 teams will be the home. And then whoever has high seed, they will host the semifinals and then the finals. Whoever wins the Georgia Conference playoffs, they will get the honor to represent the Georgia Conference in the national playoffs. Have an opportunity. Here's a ball right across. Tried to get it to Ruiz. You make it into the national playoffs, you have an opportunity to go to the national Final Four in Irvine, California, win that trophy, lift that along with a nice check, a part of that $150,000 that are on the line throughout the national playoffs. Some of that money is paid out throughout that national playoff structure for teams to get to the national finals that'll be there in Irvine, California. To be a in-swinger from Dalton United. That one hit with a little too much and is just headed away by Georgia Athletic. Dalton. Good ball forward. But Jimenez will dispossess the Dalton man. Delgado able to release that before too much challenge. Marin not able to control it, but he's going to battle right back for it. Georgia Athletic just a step quicker than Dalton United today. Marin not able to get there, but he'll get there for the second one. Good touch there by Kibis. He'll get it back. Goes back to Delgado. Delgado almost saw that ball out of the back. Had to emergency clear it out for a throw. He let that ball roll a little too far in front of him. Had to scramble to just punch it out. I should say just kick it out. Good turn from Dalton. Across the face of goal. Out for throw for Georgia Athletic. 44th minute. It is currently 2-0. Georgia Athletic over Dalton United. Goals coming in the 16th minute by Marin and the 28th minute by Ruiz. Watch this replay once again. This is a decent throw in from Dalton United. He gets around the Georgia Athletic man. He comes across the box and it just all the way out, rolls out. Jimenez able there to get the throw. Dalton is going to lay it off. Thought about letting one fly, holds up. 1-2, back to Dalton. He'll take a shot, but it's right into the arms of Delgado. We'll see how many minutes of stoppage time that we have. See, the fourth official is getting the board ready. That'll go all the way back to the Dalton keeper. Foul committed by Ruiz. And it will be 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes. Remember, Georgia Athletic did have to make one substitution early in the match. Marquez coming up. Looked like he had injured his hamstring. He was substituted. Remember, here in the UPSL system, each team can have up to 7 substitutions per match. Does not have to be in specific windows. It can be throughout the 90 minutes. But you would see a non-league European soccer. Here comes the throw in from Dalton. 1 minute of the allotted 3 minutes of stoppage time already gone. That was just a good shoulder tackle from the Georgia Athletic man. Dalton man just, and it was Dalton himself. He was just absolutely taken off of his feet by number 13 of Georgia Athletic. It was not a malicious challenge in any way, shape, or form. It was just a simple shoulder tackle. But a foul was committed by Georgia Athletic less than a yard from the top of the box. Center official asking the 4-man wall for Georgia Athletic back for the allotted 10-yard space. It'll be a 5-man wall, maybe even a 6-man wall. Indeed, that's what it'll be. 6 men in the wall for sixth man, just a little bit off. It'll be right off the wall and out for a corner. Take a look at the replay. You have the 5-man wall right there. He just goes right off the wall and out for a corner. It'll be an in-swinger. You can see the wind on that corner flag. Here comes the in-swinger. Good one, too. But it's seen away. Another deflection, and it will be out. That one deflected off. Player down. It was number 4 for Georgia Athletic who was down. But it's going to be another corner for Dalton. This time on the far side. Into the box. Grabbed by Delgado. And that will be halftime here. So we go into halftime with the score, Georgia Athletic 2, Dalton United 0. Goals coming from Marin in the 16th minute with a sensational free kick, and Ruiz in the 28th minute. So we will step away for a few minutes here at Discovery High School. Give us an opportunity to work out some of these little gremlins and get a proper roster for both of these squads, and come back and give you the second 45 here at Discovery High School. It's Georgia Athletic 2, Dalton United 0. Welcome back here to Discovery High School for this UPSL Georgia Premier Division action. It is Georgia Athletic 2, Dalton United 0. Larry Weber bring you all the action, and Andre Bomar sitting beside me giving some commentary when appropriate. Thank you so much for joining us here on ASMG TV. Goals coming in the 16th minute from Kebus Marin, and the goal in the 28th minute was originally recorded for Ruiz. It was actually Praska who scored the second goal. Dalton United not able to find their way into the back of the net in that first 45. Can they find their way into the second 45? We will find out here in a few minutes as we get through this second half. We are in week 14 of 16 here in the UPSL Georgia Conference Premier Division. Absolutely stunning day here in Lawenceville, Georgia. You look at that weather right there. You'll see currently 75 degrees, 13-mile-an-hour sustained winds. And it will be Dalton United that will get us underway in the second half. They're in their white and red kits. They're moving from right to left. Georgia Athletic in the all red kits moving from left to right. Substitution coming on for Georgia Athletic. Stepping away, if we can get that again, was number 17, number 19 coming on. About to get underway. Got a few of the information for the squads at halftime, so we'll be able to give you a few names. Just waiting for that official from the center official, and we're underway here at Discovery High School. Dalton United trying to move it forward. Good ball forward. That's Jip Van de Essen, number 6. Out for a throw for Georgia Athletic. They will work out of their third. Kasut with a nice little flick forward, not able to get it to Marin. Foul committed there on the Dalton man. This is going to be a really, really good opportunity because this one is about 31 yards out. Back underway here in the 49th minute. That attempt for Dalton United went over the bar. Rodriguez, a little too much power, pulled it over the bar. Georgia Athletic moving forward through center circle. Marin's going to send this one forward. Not able to get that pass forward at all. It's going to be Dalton United trying to attack again. Cleared out by Montero. Montero gets a nice ball forward. He's able to get through one man, trying to get around the second man. He's able to do so, get past the keeper, and the back of the net. What a sensational single goal for Georgia Athletic all by himself. To go up 3-0 in the 51st minute. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This ball forward, receives it 40 yards out, get around the first defender, gets around the keeper, and he just slots that through and into the back of the net. Nothing Dalton United could do, and it is now 3-0. I believe that was Moreno who got that goal in the 51st minute. Georgia Athletic over Dalton United. Dalton United falling down the table. They look to be on the road. If they can maintain their playoff position, will not be hosting a home game at the likes of it so far. Only 2 weeks left. That ball is nicked away. Will be a corner for Dalton United. This Dalton United squad really struggling right now to find their identity once again. Tried to knock it down as AR is like, no, you can't knock it down. Here comes the in-swinger. Headed away by Victor Seuss. And it was Victor that had that hard shoulder challenge on Van de Essen. Van de Essen, he started season week 1. He was at the top of the Golden Boot race. I believe he scored 5 or 6 goals that first week. 5 goals. But he's sharing duties here in the UPSL also with his college team. So he has to step away at times. And this Dalton United squad has really struggled to find an identity this season. Cleared away. And I really feel that number 4 on the ball right now, Marengo, with him being on a yellow card coming in the 24th minute, he would have been hard-pressed to challenge Moreno because he knew that if he would have been called for the foul, he was going to find his way out of the match. So he elected to just let Marino run down that far channel, and he gets past the keeper, and he's able to put it in the back of the net to get the 3-0 lead for Georgia Athletic. Another opportunity down that far side. It's Marino again. He's in the box. He hits the brakes, lays it off to Marin. Marin not able to control it enough. It's going to be knocked off. It will be a throw for Georgia Athletic. And it will be Praska that'll come up to take this throw. Victor Seuss coming up from that center back roll to take it. He'll lift it into the box. Bouncing through, would have been offsides for Marin, so he let that ball just go through to the defense. Marengo, he's going to release it. Trying to get it to number 11, Barajas. Now, another attempt. What an interesting little opportunity for Kasut. He hit that, but he was falling to the ground. And the goalkeeper for Dalton United, Cordoba, kind of made a meal of that just a little bit. You can watch it again on the replay. As you see, this ball gets to Kasut. Kasut hits the turf while he takes it. Cordoba did an okay job as the keeper. It was a little interesting. Here's an opportunity for Barajas. He's in, but Victor Seuss, we'll see him down on the turf. I believe that was Victor. Let's see who that is. Up close and personal. No, I apologize. That was Velez. You see this ball forward, and this is a beautiful ball forward, and he's just through the two defenders. And Velez helps clear it, but also just kind of lands right on top of Barajas. He looks to be okay.
Yeah, Larry, I think one of the things with Dalton this season has been how poorly they've done on the road. A lot of times their first-team players or their top players aren't traveling. And so it leaves them a little short. And we see even today they only have 2 substitutions ready on the sideline there. So they're short-handed, and a team like Georgia Athletic, who are trying to secure a playoff spot, it's going to be an uphill battle for Dalton, who are trying to challenge for the title. But we'll see how it goes. They've got a 3-goal deficit now.
It's going to be a long climb for Dalton United as we're in the 57th minute. Lay it back to Delgado. He's got to scramble to clear that ball. Able to do so. Headed back forward from Van de Essen. The Danish man trying to get back on the board for Dalton United. Our very own Dre Bomar had the opportunity to speak to Jip Van de Essen after that first week and interview him, talk about coming over from the Netherlands, finding his way into Dalton, Georgia, of all places, going to college and to play in the UPSL.
Yeah, that's where those connections come in. You know, he was looking for a team and got referred to Dalton, and the rest is history there. But he's done very well. I'm sure they wish he was more involved in this season so far. But here we go with this corner.
Outswinger into the box, headed away by Dalton. Another shot in through and save there. Great save from Cordoba. It's going to roll out. It'll be another corner. That was a really good save as he had a just blanket of players in front of him. Really couldn't see where that ball was coming in and was able to get a hand on it. Another outswinger. This is lefted forward, headed over the bar and out for a goal kick. That one was able to stay up in the wind on that second attempt. Look at this first one here. Here comes that in swinger. Comes to the backside, cleared away. And you see through that crowd, what a good save. Able to just push it away. 60 minutes, 2/3 done. Georgia Athletic 3, Dalton United 0. Larry Weaver alongside Andre Bomar bringing you all this action right here on ASMG TV. Thank you so much for watching here this UPSL Georgia Conference action. Good ball forward from Jip Van de Essen. It's going to get to the man. Two defenders able to see that ball under control. Gutierrez will release it. Hernandez, he lifts it forward. Praska is onside. He got through the two defenders. He stops. Good turn. Shot taken. Hits the American football post, out for a goal kick. Praska trying to do it all on his own. Here comes the substitution for Dalton United. Watch the replay here. Tries to stop. Hits it with his left. Hits that American football. It'll be Lopez, number 16, coming off for Dalton. He'll be replaced, number 17. Messias coming on. Dalton trying to get it out of their half. Van de Essen. Edge of center circle. He'll slide it over to Seika. Seika gives it back to Van de Essen, and he'll give it right back to him. Back and forth they go. Van de Essen trading passes with Rodriguez. He got it forward, but taken away quickly by Georgia Athletic. Marin wanted a foul, not going to get it, but he has an absolutely beautiful through ball there to number 11, Ruiz. Shot taken! What a goal, Ruiz! He made up for the mistake, and he puts it in the back of the net. 4-0 Georgia Athletic. Take a look again, ladies and gentlemen. This is a sensational ball forward to Ruiz. He runs past it, picks it back up, works again around Marengo, and he puts it into the back of the net for the 4-0 lead.
What a game. I wouldn't have thought that this result could be possible today. Georgia Athletic really in sync. Dalton United are struggling to keep up. And it'll be interesting to see what the ramifications of this game is going to be. It looks all lost for Dalton right now. And pretty much with the assault on the division title probably is over as well. So now they're looking to secure a playoff spot just like Georgia Athletic is.
Back underway here at Discovery High School. And Marin being relieved by number 18, Moreno, for Georgia Athletic, who I originally thought had scored. We'll figure it all out after the fact. We'll get all the goal scorers and everything, but we know that Ruiz, number 11, scored that last goal, which was absolute screamer. Georgia Athletic looking to attack once again. Lose it to Hernandez, but they give it right back. Praska lays it off. One time! Georgia Athletic are putting on a clinic here at Discovery High School, 5-0. And you see here on the replay, Praska just slides it across. Absolutely nobody there, and it's just calm as you would like it into the back of the net for 5-0.
Well, it's just come all unglued for Dalton right now, and this is one where it looks like the air has just deflated from their balloon here.
And they're going to have a long drive back to Dalton United, up 75, and they will be thinking for the next 2 hours of what went wrong here at Discovery High School, and they're going to have to put themselves together and get ready for the last push these last 2 weeks.
And what does this mean, Larry, for Georgia Athletic? What an emphatic win like this over a team like Dalton United, the things it can do for their confidence going into the business end of the playoff push here.
Absolutely, because if you look at the way that the table is right now, they're currently in 7th place. This 3 points will put them in a 3-way battle with Georgia Revolution and Lamino, Georgia. So they'll be right there in that 3rd, 4th, 5th fight. Remember, here in the UPSL, it is head-to-head competition. It is the first tiebreaker, and then it will go into points and goals scored and all that fun stuff. But it's head-to-head competition. That's the first tiebreaker here in the UPSL system. So they will go into, and we talk about it time and time again on the ASMG TV live broadcasts, that every point matters as the season gets tighter and tighter at the end. You have Potros FC at the top of the table with 21 points. Kalanji Pro Profile has 19 points, but they have 2 games in hand, and they play tomorrow. And then you have Georgia Revolution with 18 points and Lamino, Georgia with 18 points. So there is a possibility, depending upon Kalanji's makeups, they might slide away and kind of run away with the title and hold that top seed. But it doesn't mean that it's all roses and caviar, because, yes, Kalanji Pro Profile did win the playoffs and represent Georgia Conference in the national playoffs, but the last 2 seasons they've been knocked out in the first round by the eventual national title champions, Soda City FC.
Yeah, Soda City, the first UPSL team to go back-to-back with national championships. I'm sure that's fuel for Kalanji Pro Profile, and they do have those 2 games in hand. But the thing about that, Larry, they have to win those games. But it is in their own hands. They control whether or not they win the division right now. They have the favorite in there. But right there waiting to see what happens is going to be Potros and Georgia Revolution.
And Kalanji Pro Profile, they've been a little off in their roster. Of course, we all know about the tragedy that happened a few weeks ago. Their starting goalkeeper, David Magala, losing his life in a motor vehicle accident. But they've also had to see their star striker, Anthony Sumo, get his first professional contract, now playing for Carolina Core. And they've been struggling with other obligations from some of their other team members. So they really haven't been their powerhouse squad that we've seen in seasons past.
Yeah, you know what's going to be interesting now that the MLS next season is over, a lot of the players that were a part of that, like Kalen Kalanji and some of the younger players, are now going to be available. And so that's going to help them to reload.
Another opportunity, a nice little aerobatic clearance there by Cordoba. Marengo is really struggling back there defensively for Dalton United. And it's one of the strange things for this Dalton United squad. They've been so just put together foundationally defensive side with the likes of Saldana and when you look at Valenciano and some of those other players that have been veterans, that one taken just kind of randomly. Even everybody was caught off guard there. Even us in here in the booth, we were caught off guard. What in the world is going on there? It's going to be a corner for Dalton. Going to be substitution for Georgia Athletic. It's going to be the end of the day for number 2, Gutierrez. He'll be replaced by number 20, Morales. This will be an out swinger. Nice ball into the box. Headed away by Georgia Athletic. Still in play. That'll be knocked off. It'll be another corner, this time on the near side. This will be an in-swinger this time. Headed away, and that one will go for another one. This one will be back on the far side. Third time's a charm for Dalton United. Can they find themselves back into this match? Here comes the outswinger. Bouncing through. Victor Seuss heads that one away. Now, here they go. Once again, Saka trying to get it forward, able to get it to Rodriguez. Rodriguez gives it over. Cleared away. Now, Georgia Athletic release the pressure. Over here to the near side. Macias loses it. Now Georgia Athletic, they're looking to counterattack. What a ball forward. Good touch by Hernandez. Hernandez hits the brakes. Gonna come over here. What another beautiful ball. Shot taken, Ruiz. Deflected by Cordoba. Cordoba's defensive line really leaking like a sieve today, letting these Georgia Athletic attacks through. Take a look again here. And just able to get a hand on that one. Another substitution. Montagut is going to be coming on for Kasut. We're in the 74th minute. It is Georgia Athletic 5. Dalton United 0. And this is just the beginning of a very, very busy end of May, May 31st. down at Otis Spencer Stadium there in the first half. FC Columbus Elite and Lamino, Georgia. I'll see if I can give you an update on that match before we get off the air. At 6 o'clock over in Birmingham, FC Birmingham taking on Potros FC. At 7 o'clock will be this part 2 of the doubleheader down at Otis Spencer Stadium. Fountain City FC taking on Pachuca, Georgia. Tomorrow, we will be bringing you the doubleheader of 5 o'clock, SSL taking on North Georgia United. There's a foul by Georgia Athletic. 5 o'clock, SSL taking on North Georgia United. And then at 7:30, Kalanji Pro Profile versus UMAFC. Also at 7 o'clock tomorrow, Albion SC Atlanta taking on Georgia Revolution. Georgia Revolution quietly just been putting the work in this season, keeping themselves in the playoff hunt and a home field advantage. I think they felt really slighted last season to not make it into the playoffs and wanted to just kind of put their heads down and get the work done and make it into the playoffs this season. Rodriguez through center circle. That pass cut off. Van de Essen's going to try to go through center circle. He's able to get the pass over to Macias. Macias gives it back. Van de Essen over here to Barajas. Barajas will give it back to him. Over to number 19. Forward to Macias. That one will be nicked out. It will be a throw. And here comes a substitution. And here is the man of the hour. Hernan Saldana, I believe, is number 24. This is going to be a dangerous throw. This is his specialty. And it's going to be Guerrero, number 18, who's coming off for Dalton. Hernan Saldana, this is like an absolute cheat code, is his ability for these throw-ins.
And the question I have is why such a late substitute with somebody like that on the bench when you're going down like you are in this match. But let's see what happens. This is his patented throw here.
Look at that ball right in. No time, wasting. That just comes in like a rocket. He can throw it like a laser beam 20 yards into the box. That one just a little off, and a foul committed on Dalton. That is interesting. Maybe travel could be related. You look right there. There's the times of the matches for this week. We'll update that. Dalton United, Georgia Athletic, as it's 5-0. Dalton United down from this Georgia Athletic squad. Montagut trying to challenge, put some pressure on Marengo. He'll come over here to the near side. Ruiz. Van de Essen. Beautiful ball forward to Macias. He's able to receive it, but he is taken off the ball by Georgia. Nice little back heel there. Get it over to Velez. Georgia Athletic playing with confidence today. Ooh, what a ball forward. Talk about confidence. One time over to Montagut. just a little too far for him. It allows Cordoba to just see that ball out. And it's just off screen. But if you take a look at that American flag, it is just whipping in the wind. With standard winds at 13 and gusting. Anything that's coming across from near side to far side is just going to sit up in the wind. Here's an opportunity for Georgia Athletic that's snuffed out, but they'll get another opportunity. Hernandez passing with Praska. Praska's pass is cut off. Rodriguez, Saldana. Saldana will be taken off his feet. And look at that flag, just a blowing for all to see. Hope everybody enjoyed their Memorial Day weekend last week. Enjoyed a day off from work on Monday, as we did. Oh, nice ball forward for Dalton. Had to clear that ball, was Georgia Athletic. It'll be a throw. Now, another dangerous opportunity for Hernan Saldana. This is one that Hernan needs to get right for Dalton. They need to get on the board quickly. We're in the 81st minute. They're down by 5. They need to get something out of this match. Bouncing through, cleared away by Georgia Athletic. Morales just turning on that ball and sending it out. Now, Georgia Athletic looking to counterattack. What a ball from Montagut. Just a little bit behind him. He's able to receive it, gives it back forward. Hernandez gives it over to Montagut. Montagut, step shot, blocked. Marengo, it just didn't get it to it one time to Montagut. He had to take a second touch with it, and that allowed Marengo to just deflect it out and clear it for Dalton United. Dalton, Georgia Athletic, they're not done with 5. They want to put another one on the board before we get out of here. Ruiz was able to get a touch on it, and he hits the deck, still has possession. That's good work there by Montero. Montagut through center circle, another beautiful ball forward, but the defender is going to get there in time. Juarez. Marengo gives it back to Juarez. Juarez goes back to Cordoba. Rodriguez over to the far side. Seika will go forward and get it right back. Over here to Macias. He one-times it, gives and goes. Hits the brakes. That one will be nicked away. Will be a corner. See the replay there on that opportunity. Look at this ball, just a little bit behind, and then just a perfect ball to Hernandez. Montagut receives it. He has to get it off his foot, and just that much of a stop to kind of settle it allowed them to have an opportunity. Bouncing through and clear. Goal kick.
Yeah, we talked about how the tiebreaker is now turned to head-to-head, but goal difference still is a factor in there. When these close races come to the end, there could be teams that tied during the season, even on points, then goal difference comes into play as a tiebreaker.
Absolutely. I think that is probably going to be true, Dre, because some of these teams are so close to one another.
Yeah, I mean, even last week we had 3 teams tied for second place on the same number of points, and 2 of them had already tied each other. So those teams will be looking at, even Laminio, Potros, Georgia Revolution, all of them are looking on with interest at a game like this. But Kalanji Pro Profile controls everything. And if they win out, they are champions.
You look at the top 18 team, or top 8 teams, I'll spit it out. Top 8 teams. The top 8 teams, the only team that is at the end of the goals is this Georgia Athletic squad. They had 16 goals coming into this match. They now have 21. Here's Montagut. He was trying to make it 22. Second chance there from Mourinho, not able to. It'll be knocked out. It'll be a throw. Montagut's opportunity. And quick throw in. Everyone kind of hit the brakes except for Mourinho. He came in, gave it another swipe at it. So we'll go into this match. They had 16. They now have 21. That's the same as Laminio, Georgia. Dalton United had save there. They came into this match with 24. Georgia Revolution, Potros has 25. Georgia Revolution has 28. And it's Kalanji Pro Profile at the top of the goal scoring table with 36. UMAFC in second with 34. Not the team that you would expect that. UMA, we saw them when they were in Division 1. They knew how to put goals on frame. Over 60 goals in their opening season in Division 1.
Yeah, I think that's a record, I believe.
It is.
I think they beat out Dalton, who had done so well before them. Everything has just worked so well for Georgia Athletic today. All the bounces and the flicks and the 50-50 balls have just gone their way today. Oh,
not able to get that one on frame. Mistimed. Be a goal kick for Dalton. They'll try to get it quickly.
Yeah, it is worth Dalton try to get a goal just to cut down on that goal difference thing, because, you know, they're also fighting for a home field advantage. Remember, it's 8 teams that make the playoffs, but the top 4 get home field advantage.
Opportunity nicked away and out. It'll be a corner for Dalton United as we are just getting ready to enter the 88th minute. We'll see how much stoppage time our referee squad will give this match. You see here, good ball forward for Dalton. Mistimed a little bit on that first attempt by the defender, and he's able to just get a touch on it for the second attempt. See the wind having havoc with some of our cameras. Here comes the in-swinger. Tried to head it, and he just didn't get enough of it, was number 17, Macias, and that'll go out. It will be a goal kick.
That's sort of the story of the day for Dalton. They have these half chances that come in from these set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks, but nothing looks threatening for Georgia Athletic. Georgia Athletic being very impressive today.
Dalton, Georgia recovering the ball so that they can have their throw in, gives it to Van de Essen. Not the most Professional throw in, but a throw in nonetheless. Van de Essens cannot get past Morales. Now here comes the attack. Hernandez one times it. Good turn. He gets around the man. Gets around the keeper. Back to Monaghan. Monaghan's got it. Slots it across. Tried to one time it. Not able to do so. Hits the deck. Morales not able to stay on his feet, or this could have been 6-0. You see there, it comes across. Montague receives it, and Morales trying to come back to receive it, and he just cannot control it. Dalton United trying to storm their way down the pitch as we're in the 90th minute. We'll see how many minutes of stoppage time they'll give us with the goal scoring so lopsided. I'm not going to expect too much of a stoppage time. Saldana. Rodriguez. He tried to find a path through and absolutely closed out by Georgia Athletic. Hernandez. And that's going to be it right at the 90. We will not get any stoppage time. So we will end this match. Georgia Athletic 5 and Dalton United 0. Great match for for Georgia Athletic. They really put on a good clinical match here, getting themselves back in the right.
Yeah, I think this is going to be sort of an end of a campaign for Dalton United, and it's going to be amazing to see what the ramifications this is going to be from, not just from the title race part, but just for the momentum going into the playoffs and postseason play, because this is an emphatic defeat, and it's the manner of the defeat too. They never really looked in this game.
No, they never did. They from minute one, Dalton United looked off. So it's going to be interesting to see, can they continue the momentum into these last 2 weeks? Can they contain? Because if they cannot maintain, they could find themselves out of the playoffs, because it is that tight.
Yeah.
You look at them, they have 17 points. You've got right behind the 8th place North Georgia United. Pachuca is right there with 13 points. All Pachuca needs is 2 wins in these last 3 matches for them, and they could find themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see how the fortunes have changed for so many teams, including Georgia Athletic, who missed the playoffs by 1 point last season. They look certain for this season, especially on evidence of the play today. So, I know that they've been wanting to do this, but tomorrow we're going to get a good look at UMA, who are another team that have improved over last season. Looks to be a shoe-in for a good playoff spot. So just a lot to play for with just a few games left. It's going to be an exciting close to the season.
So we'll look one more time at the games for the remainder of this weekend. You will see that there's one game going on right now, and that is FC Columbus Elite. They're taking on North Georgia United. FC Birmingham will take on Potros FC here at 6 o'clock. Fountain City FC, the doubleheader against Pachuca. Pachuca needs to come away with points from that one if they want an opportunity to find themselves in the playoffs. Tomorrow, our doubleheader over at Charlie Jordan Field, Shiloh High School, SSL North Georgia United at 5. Kalanji Pro Profile UMA at 7:30, like Dre said. And at 7 o'clock over across the way in Marietta, Albion SC Atlanta taking on Georgia Revolution FC. Georgia Revolution, another team that's just sneakily finding themselves in, like we were talking about.
Yeah, I think, Georgia Revolution, Albion has had a tough time. They'll be down there in Locust Grove. I think that they have some real issues both on and off the field they need to address. Georgia Revolution could take full advantage of that and get themselves into a really nice playoff spot with home field advantage with a positive result there. But I tell you what, we got Kalonji Pro Profile playing a tough team in UMA. Then they have a game midweek against Pachuca. And then, of course, back again next weekend. And then the following Wednesday. So they have 4 games in 2 weeks. And depending on those results will pretty much determine the division title this season.
And we'll be right here to cover it all on ASMG TV. Those are all the scores. And that is going to do it. So for all of us here at ASMG TV, don't forget to like and subscribe to see all of our content, including not only these live matches, but interviews, podcasts, highlights, and so much more. We leave you from Discovery High School. It's Georgia Athletic 5, Dalton United 0. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great afternoon.
This has been a presentation of the UPSL. Any use of this broadcast without the written consent of the Atlantic Soccer Media Group is prohibited.